Hey guys, Mark Custom Leather. Yesterday, I showed you the knife sheath that I did for the old timer charade, and just wanted to just follow up. I was, I got this design from Alaska Knives. That the sheath style has changed, and it wound up being a bunch of crap, in my opinion. This other one I bought like 30 years ago, and this is it right here. This cub bear, I called it yesterday the bear cub. It's a cub bear. Is a great knife. I don't know what type of a finish they put on that. It's a C3 carbide. I know that for certain. But as far as it's not a parkerization, but whatever method that they use, a buddy of mine I've known since I was 3.5, he was out with his, visiting his brother down in LaGrange, Georgia, and he wound up dropping the thing, and he couldn't find it. He was driving him crazy, and like 3 months later, he went back, he was seeing his brother again, and he found it in the sheath, and it wasn't rusted, just like today, and I was like, awesome. He said, the leather was, a little weathered from the sun and the rain and all. And he said, what I'll do is you just put some little neat's foot on it and just rub it with your thumb and just rub it in there real good, and it wound up being nice again. And so he's been really happy with it. Well, I'm looking at doing replacement sheaths for the cub bear. And, I don't know anybody who does it, but I'm going to. So I was going to show you how I'm putting mine together. I've already glued these pieces, and they're ready to tack. Initially, I went and used a pony clamp and just worked up on each side and made a pencil mark down below where the stitching is going to be, so we can be able to go and stick this thing together. All right. I did want to mention that I do use barred cement, and it's from the shoe industry. I went and got a can, from a local hardware store, and you get some cheap brushes. I use this little Bristol brush, and I'll go and so it fits in the can, because you got a hole in there where you can hang it on the wall or whatever. I go and get my jigsaw and cut it off and hit it with my belt sander, and so that way it sits in there. Now, just make sure you close it real good. And I use a piece of this steel comes from a shipping industry. Now let's go and pound that down, because if not, it will dry. You have to get yourself some, latex gloves with paper towels and go clean that thing out. And it's not fun if you let it air too long. Don't ask me how I know. All right, that out of the way. Go ahead and start sticking this thing together here in just a second. All right, so as you see here, you have pin marks, and so you have to have a start and stopping point. All right, and so what you're going to do is take one edge and work it all the way down around. Okay, look, it started to stick already. I'll try to get this camera in a better angle. All right, so I'm going about a 30-second above there, and just going and just starting to work it. And you want to keep it good and flush the best that you can. And if you don't get too far into it, you can work that leather over. You got to work, just like working interior trim, you got to work the wood, you got to work the leather. You can kind of mosey it around, and it feels good and flush, and you can go ahead and stick it. And just keep going down all the way around. Just make sure it's good and flush as can be. And if it doesn't work out, you can always pull it back up a little bit and put some more bar cement on it, let it cure. Then just keep working it around. Make sure it's nice and flush. You may have to hold this leather up with your index finger or whatever. But with my thumb, it's good. Then I'll push it down and keep working it around. It feels good. I'll push it down. And with some projects, it's good to dampen this area so it's more malleable. In this case, I really don't have to do that. Hope I don't have to prove myself wrong. But I've been doing this for a while, so I'm pretty confident in it. And just keep pressing it. There it goes. Right together where I need it to be. Yep, that's it. All right, I'll show you the next step. All right, next I have my saw table here. A nice old Craftsman. They don't make them like this anymore. But I'll use my mallet. And it's a mallet you can get at any hardware store. But what I'll do is I'll take this piece right here and lay it up against this steel and just tamp it down. So all you're doing is just bedding it. It's gonna go all the way around. That way you're ensuring that when you start stitching, it's not going to be moving around. All right? Next, I'm going to take this and I'm going to be running it down the sander. Okay? I will run the sander. The sander's rotating like this, so I'm going to be running this down and then turn it over and run it the other way, because I want to have it good and smooth. If it's sticking out just a little bit, I want to have everything nice and slicked down by the sander. I use a 220 grip. This one is about ready to be changed out, but it's still doing duty. So it makes a lot of noise. So then I'll show you the finished product.